Next up, I would have had Stephanie versus Bailey. And just the background, the reason I have Stephanie versus Bailey instead of Stephanie versus Io is because instead of just scheduling that match at Wrestlepalooza, I made a fatal four-way match for the winner to face Stephanie for the title, and the winner ended up being Bailey out of instead of Io, Rhea, or Lyra. I wanted to do something fresh with the women's main title belt in terms of who is fighting for it, instead of just having Io or Rhea in the picture right away. So at the start of the match, I would have had Stephanie try to shake Bailey's hand again, and she twitches again, but she does it this time. But then does a move with her hand grab and like takes her down or something like that, or when she does grab her hand. So throughout this whole match, it's going to be pretty even. But when Bailey has the advantage, she twitches during some moments, showing her internal conflict within during the match. And the narrative of the match is that it's pretty even with Bailey showing heel tendencies, like going for Stephanie's limbs, whether it's like an arm or a leg. Then afterwards, I'm sorry, not afterwards. Then towards the end of the match, I would have had Bailey do a move and start grabbing at her head like Bobbity was trying to mind control her. And then Lyra runs out and gets on the apron and tries to ask Bailey like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay?" And then Bailey looks up and sees her and like smiles because Lyra is right there. And then she turns around and walks into Stephanie's finisher, and then she loses the match. And Stephanie is now the women's world heavyweight champion. Then there will be a huge celebration, of course, for Stephanie or whatever like that. And then Bailey like runs backstage, and Lyra tries to follow her and then catches up with her. And she says sorry about the loss, and Bailey says she planned it, basically planned it from the beginning, and she knew what she was doing, and then starts talking to herself while like she's in front of Lyra. It was like, no, she didn't mean to do it. Yeah, she did mean to do it. Like she like Two Face basically. She didn't mean to, And then just attacks Lyra to the point security has to come and get Bailey basically. And that's pretty much how that ends. Usos versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, and of course I added LA Knight as a special guest referee. Of course, in the last video that we actually did, I included LA Knight as a special guest referee because in the main event, I had Jey Uso going against LA Knight, and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed pretty much interfere in the match. And because the interference in that match, I had Adam Pearce include LA Knight in the match with Usos and Bron Breakker, making it a little bit more entertaining. So that's the background on this match. And when it comes to this match, I would have had the narrative of this match be LA Knight just doing hilarious things when Bronson Reed is beating up Jimmy, um, by acting like he's not paying attention when he's trying to pin him. You know how The Rock was doing that time as a special guest referee, basically like that. And him pissing him off, but he can't do anything to him because he doesn't want to get disqualified. But when Jay is in the ring and he's facing Bron Breakker, because he has a problem with Jay, he basically does the same thing to Jay, and Jay gets mad too when there's like basically friction with him and Jay also. Then towards the end of the match, I would have had Jay kick LA Knight by mistake, of course, and then Bronson and Braun overpower Jay and Jimmy, and Bron Breakker pins Jay as LA Knight comes back in the ring after Jay kicked him, and then he delivers the count, and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed picks up the win. Then, as LA Knight is trying to talk to Jay on the ground about like like mad because he got kicked and shit like that, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed attack LA Knight as well and tsunami him and spears him, and they beat up Jimmy Jay and Jimmy Jay and LA Knight, and Bronson Reed of course takes all of their shoes. He takes all of their shoes.
He only got two pair of hands.
Yeah, I don't care. He gonna wrap him up around his neck, all over around his neck. That's what he gonna do. He gonna wrap all over his neck. Or he gonna have a random bag he gonna pull out and put him in the bag. That would be hilarious, not gonna lie. He just got a bag of shoes. But yes, in this universe, this is of course the second time Bronson Reed has taken LA Knight shoes in my universe. He's taken John Cena's shoes, and now he's taking the Uso shoes, by the way, also. And this, of course, will make Bronson Reed look more credible as the tribal thief. And that's how my three matches would have went.
Question, just side
Yes.
note. What would happen if he wrestled somebody like, I don't know, Solo wears boots now, but when Solo didn't wear shoes, what happens if Bronson Reed wrestles Solo Sikoa?
You gonna take them shits off too. You gonna stood him too?
But I said if he doesn't have any, like somebody, if it was the old Solo with no
oh, he
shoes.
doesn't like. He doesn't have. He's barefoot.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna take the tape around his, around his foot?
Take the tape off his ankle.
You gonna take the fucking tape around his foot? No,